Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. We just made it to this really cool spot, kind of in an old abandoned factory. I think it's an old cement works. Not sure what sort of date it is, but it looks like it was a pretty large structure at one point. On this really beautiful lake here called, I think, something the Cortez II. So it is, you might be able to tell from how fast the clouds are moving, but it's really blowing a gale today. There's actually a wind warning out with gusts up to 70 kilometers an hour. So this spot here in this valley is perfect for us. It's relatively sheltered and it's about sort of 3 p.m. now. So we're gonna lie low for the rest of the day. We had a terrible night of sleep last night. Oakley was just up the whole night for no real reason. So we're pretty knackered today. We're gonna hit things bright and early tomorrow and take you to a castle which is up on one of the hills behind this ledge here. That is gonna be awesome. So we'll see you in the morning.
How do you feel doing a little hike, Oakley boy? Pretty good? Easy for you. We carry you to the top of a castle. So we're currently on a steep 2-kilometer hike to a castle called Castillo de Chile. Yeah, it is quite a workout when you're carrying a 16-kilo toddler, but we're getting there. The views are already really nice. We were camping somewhere by the lake yesterday. Much better weather this morning, not as much wind. So the only reason we came here is to avoid Valencia. We just don't like to drive through big cities. And as well, you would probably remember a few months ago, they had really bad floods over there. So we just wanted to take it safe just in case. And here we are, making our way through the mountains near Valencia. And we've got some nice sunshine. Yay. Wow, the views. There's something very special about castles in Spain, especially ones like this where there's no tickets, just ruins. They can just come and explore yourself. Yeah, Chris kind of like converted me to come explore. I love the one that are like in nature like that, far away from cities. Really enjoyable. Well, let's go and see if we can get all the way to the top. All right, getting in the castle.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a door. Wow, it's very special. Do you think we can fit? Wow. Wow, we're in a castle, Oakley. Yeah. Pretty cool. Let's go over there and see the view. Are you ready to see the view? I think it's gonna be pretty epic. Wow. Look at this, Ox.
Wow, this one's a really cool ruin. And I love that there's no like ticket office where you have to pay for like a lot of the others had. This is just free to explore. But like, check this out. Wouldn't want to fall in there. So it looks like not a ton of information online about this castle. So it was originally built by the Arabs, and then it was later improved by the Christians when they took the area. Other than that, it was kind of used as sort of like a bastion during a revolt in the 1600s. Since then, it just kind of fell into ruin. I guess because this area, there's just nothing really important nearby. So I think, yeah, after a while, this castle just became a bit of nothing. So probably one of the reasons why there's no ticket office, this probably just doesn't see that many people. We'll do some more exploring and see what else we can find. Looks a bit dodgy. Let's go up. Oh, nice. One thing that is just blowing us away about Spain is the sheer amount of castles and fortresses. Like, it's almost like every hill when you're driving has a little castle on the top. It'll take you a lifetime to visit every one. I'm sure we've missed a bunch of absolutely incredible ones, but there's only so many you can see before they all kind of mold into this one thing, right? But yeah, very happy with the ones we've seen so far. Trying to work out if there's a way to get up here. It's definitely a room. I'm going to try and get up on top of that, clamber across and see if there's a way to the top. Because there's definitely not there unless you're a really good rock climber. So I don't think I'll be doing that today. And one thing I really like as well is when these ruins are left for you to hurt yourself if you want to. I really like that they just let you explore and stuff, right? I hate it when your hand is held by authorities too much. Yeah, I get, that some common sense is necessary and some people lack common sense, but if I want to clamber around on an old castle, why shouldn't I be able to, right? Okay, maybe I'm going to climb up here. A bit sus, but we'll see. Alright. Wee. Oh, she's tight. Oh, I can hardly fit in here. Oh, cool. Oh. You ain't coming out of that one. You might survive it, but you're definitely not going to enjoy living after that. Really cool. Must be where kind of the remains of where they've done a little bit of reconstruction at some point. This is neat. Dodgy, but it's pretty suspect. Alright, let's go this way. Okay, can we get up? Oi! Watch my step here. Oh, nice. Oh, and further. Epic. Well, hey. That's more like it. Really windy. Should we brave it? Yeah. Yeah! may not be able to hear me. You might be able to see way in the distance there's a track around the lake. That's where we were last night, just beyond there. Cool. Hi! Hi! Definitely not toddler friendly. King of the castle. I was hoping for some relics. Nothing. I think we may have found camp.
Well, really random. Found a place on Park for night to camp the night, and there's the fire brigade. They're basically on watch. Sorry, I was just coming for a run. There's a big valley and they're just watching for fires. So I've asked them if we can camp there. They said no worries at all. If you sleep in your vehicle, it's the rule in Spain. You can't have a tent, awning, all that kind of things. But in a vehicle, if you've got nothing on the outside, absolutely fine. So yeah, we'll have a fire brigade team as a company for a few hours. They're very friendly. One was not speaking English at all. I tried to speak Spanish. There was a little bit of language barrier. So he asked his boss, and very friendly. Spanish people are just so friendly.
They really are. They are so lovely.
I'm sure they're gonna love the truck as well when they're gonna see it.
We've not met anyone who's been off.
No.
So far. I'm really impressed actually.
Yeah. Alright, this is going to be one of these spots where I'm going to have to try and level it. So basically on days where we just want to spend the night somewhere just convenient, close to a city where we need to go the next day, and we're not in the mood for scouting, we don't want to do any off-roading. So this is the day that 100% use Park for Night app. It's such a good app. I really rate it compared to the one we've got in Australia, similar to Wikicamp, but this is so much better. So usually the filters that I select to get camps, I usually get the rating greater than 4, so I only get the one that got pretty good reviews, not the one with bad reviews. And then I select the picnic area, the surrounded by nature, and the off-road 4x4, because even if it says off-road 4x4, it's usually pretty tame and usually absolutely fun for our vehicle. And yeah, get some pretty good spots. So for example, here we are close to the city of Alicante, we just passed Valencia, so I just wanted to find somewhere before we get down to that peninsula, which we'll explore in the next few days. So we were driving and I just found a little spot that looked like it was on a hill with potentially a view. So I just clicked on it, looked at the photo, was looking very nice. Always checking the last reviews, just making sure there was nothing bad that happened there. They all were like 5 out of 5 roughly. If they have bad reviews, usually they will be like sound, like a bit too noisy, or the road was actually quite hard to get. So yeah, it's nothing usually too bad for those kind of spots. So this is how we selected this spot. So yeah, really nice views. We've got internet, which right now is important for us because we want to do some research for itinerary for the coming days. And I guess we potentially gonna render and upload our next YouTube episode. So yeah, perfect spot for all these chores. Chill for the rest of the day. It's much warmer here than where we were this morning as well, which is nice. And we'll take you along the rest of the exploring of the Alicante region. not a bad spot to start the day. We found a spectacular hike on the coast. The hike is called Ruta de los Acantilados. So we're just above Alicante. It's very steep already. Should be around 6 kilometers return. So fully manageable with oaks. Already stunning views, perfect temperature, no wind. Let's go. So this is where we are right now, and we're gonna walk all along the coast to the next little beach. Nobody at this time of the year at the beach, which is very nice. Have it all to ourselves. And the reason why we are doing this hike is we basically have to kill time near Alicante. In 2 days time, we've got some parcels arriving from Tatanka and as well Amazon. So yeah, I found this hike. I think it's gonna be nice scenery. Yeah, we're going left. How's the team?
Seems good. Seems real good.
Octa's getting used to the hiking backpack, which is good.
Nice temperature for doing a slog. It's not too hot. It's very built up around here, but it's still beautiful as well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with the Spanish coast is it's built up pretty much all along. So that's why when we're camping, we're usually a bit more inland. It's actually surprisingly easy to find like free camp spots in Spain, as long as you're a bit more inland. On the coast, I'd say it's probably a bit harder, but yeah, let's go to the next beach.
Yay!
Yay! Well, the views so far are incredible. We are almost halfway through the hike. Oh, little man is looking a bit sleepy already.
He is. He's gone pretty limp.
That's one thing as well that I recommend if you're hiking with a toddler. Try to time it around the nap time. Oakley already fell asleep quite a few times in a hiking backpack, so yeah, that seems to work quite well for us. So before I was talking about how easy it was to find some campsite in Spain, and just overall the overlanding in Spain has been so easy. There are rubbish bins everywhere. You can refill water relatively easily, although most of the time it's like fountains, not really like one that you can screw on, but we still manage. In terms of actual paid campsite, we don't really go to them because we don't need it. We most of the time just refill water on the go and drive to regenerate power for our batteries. But once every 2 weeks we do stop at a campsite, usually to do a big chores day. So a few days ago we did go to a caravan park, which actually was one of the nicest, probably the nicest we've been in Europe so far. It was good facilities, nice views in the valley. We were surrounded by orange trees and yeah, very nice vibe. Ah, he's asleep. A little bit earlier than we thought. And yeah, it's just so nice at this time of the year that there's just no one around, so you don't even have to do bookings. The price though, compared to Australia, it's a little bit more expensive. This one was relatively affordable, around like 23 euro I think for the site, with power and water. But in summer I've seen some of the prices go up to 50-60 euro per night, which is crazy. So definitely go low season exploring Spain. It's definitely the way to go. Later that day, we drove towards the coast on the hunt for a nice camp. This is sometimes the kind of roads we end up on as we try to avoid as much as possible motorways. And yes, sometimes Google takes us on pretty random roads, but by avoiding the highway, we get to see some beautiful parts of Spain that we would have missed otherwise. We sometimes end up in small little villages with very narrow roads where we are very glad to have Scotty and not our Unimog. That evening, we found a very nice coastal camp where we could watch the sunset over the sea. It was a really peaceful night of sleep. The next day, we went to Alicante to pick up our Tatanka parts parcel, which was much needed, and headed inland towards the desert of Albania.
Hey guys, check this cool spot out. No one as far as the eye can see. So we're in another little Badlands region called Deserto de Albania. And we've kind of been looking for little off-road trails to do. One that we've found looks really gnarly over there. So I might scout that on foot and see whether it's even worth doing, because it doesn't go anywhere. It would just be for the sake of it, right? So if it looks real sus, we won't do it. But yeah, really nice spot. So we will camp here tonight. There's a few spots where they've got some plantation trees and stuff, but nothing right here. So I think we'll be just fine. I don't think the owner, if there is one, will mind at all. So it was a bit of a detour to get here, away from the coast of it, because we really wanted to check this place out. And we'd seen that there was a track on Wikiloc, the app that we use a lot. Unfortunately, about a quarter of the way down the track, it moved into like a private property area with a red cross in it. So we turned back, and unfortunately can't really do it. This is kind of, we've taken up another kind of part of it, which is nice. So we're not really on any kind of massive exploration here. We're just kind of chilling out, really, to be honest. But I'm thinking maybe at sunset, it's really going to light these hills up. Maybe I'll get the drone out and see if we can capture some colors on the camera.
Alright, so the boys went on a little mission exploring, and that's one thing that I absolutely love with our lifestyle is how much time Oakley is going to spend outdoors. He loves it. We get to change his environment almost every day, and he just thrives exploring. So I'm really happy to see that. But being a toddler, he does get very messy and dirty very easily. And I find myself having to clean his clothes quite often. So we usually do a huge, big wash and laundromat every 2 weeks. And in between, my lifesaver, the scrubber wash bag. So today I'm going to take the opportunity to do some washing with Oakley's clothes. Alright, so 6 easy steps. Step number 1, you put your clothes in, some water, around 2 to 6 liters, depending on how much clothes you're using, and then some bio washing liquid. And then second step, you close the bag very tightly, so 4 to 5 times on itself, and you just clip it. Then step number 3, you just remove the air, so you've got a little valve here where you can deflate from. So you can just push down to get the air out. Now just close the valve, and then you just want to use the inner washboard inside the bag just to wrap your clothes lightly, and just up to 3 minutes depending how much clothing you've got inside, how dirty it is. All right, step number 5, you just need to rinse. So I'm just gonna open the outlet here, dispose of the grey water, and I'll come back with some clean water in it. And step number 6, you dry the clothes. And then to dry your scrubber wash bag, you just have to put it inside out. That's the best way to dry it as well. All right, and now we wait for the clothes to dry. So a few reasons why we are using the scrubber wash bag. Not only it is much cheaper, it doesn't cost anything once you've bought the product. You don't have to use a lot of water, it uses no electricity. It's as well so much faster than doing washing at the laundromat. There's something about waiting for the washing machine and the dryer with a toddler that is just not fun at all, even if you planned quite well. So I like when we're at campsite like this where we don't have that much things to do. I can just do a quick wash, let it dry, and just relax with the boys. And it's very convenient. You can do your laundry anywhere, whenever you want. Very compact as well. So yeah, a must-have for any traveler, really. So if you're interested in getting one of those, check out the Scrubber website. The one that we are using is the water clear wash bag.
Really nice, peaceful night of sleep last night. Looking out of that valley this morning is awesome. Nice clear day, not much wind. It's pretty chilly though. We got a bunch of really quite warm weather when we were leaving the mountains, and then that's kind of gone away, and now it's back to being pretty chilly. So it's quite nice that we're still heading south at the moment. Unfortunately, we are bingo water and food, so we're going to head to a town today. Probably, unfortunately, just do chores for most of the day because we do have a few things to do. Thank you for all of the comments on our last video in regards to the engine difficulties I'm having. It's really good to get so much feedback from you guys. Just a little update on the spark. So I've changed over the spark leads. The ones from Tatanka. I've also changed the distributor cap to a brand new one. I've also kind of taken the spinny thing in the distributor off so that I could get to the points. And I tried to adjust the points, but there's definitely there's this one really concave area and one area that's really sticking out. So I'm definitely going to need to buy some new points for it because I think that's probably quite a bit of my issue. And one or two of you who know this, who know these Volvos, also showed that the filter king that I have, so that's kind of the filter closest to the carburetors, and it also regulates pressure. That should act as a non-return valve, which mine doesn't seem to be doing. So every single morning there's no fuel in the bowl, so that's potentially quite a large portion of my issue as well. So that's something I can address. And I've also noticed my mechanical fuel pump leaks a bit too. So there's a membrane there that's kind of gone, and that's a non-serviceable. So that would be a new fuel pump that I would need. So a lot of this stuff is kind of mounting up, which I kind of knew it would with this old motor, right? Because I didn't spend time and money on it during the build. Some of you have also asked why I didn't, and I'm sure a lot of you realize because I didn't want to be spending any money on this motor. I thought I was tearing it out before we started the trip, but we ran out of time, ran out of money, and I ran out of energy. So that's why we could kind of just hit the road with the Volvo B30, which I'm not regretting at all. So please don't assume that we're having a really bad time. It's just lots of work for me, but that doesn't matter. I like to keep busy. So anyway, I wanted to show you a startup when it's not been -0 degrees. Also, I saw someone said thank you so much, I shouldn't even be touching the accelerator pedal. I had kind of heard that before. But then one time I tried when it was cold starting it without the accelerator, and I seem to still have the same trouble, but maybe I should have persevered for longer. So thank you, I'll stop pressing the accelerator. But anyway, when it has not been sub-zero, I can easily start it just with the choke out, completely fully out. So I'll show you that. Turn the fan off. You're just gonna hold it for me. So no accelerator. Starts up pretty well, and then I can start to reduce the choke. The squealing you hear is just my belts. My belt tensioner is a bit permanently stuffed, so I can't get a heap of tension from the belts, but it seems fine. Cool. All right, so as you can see, yeah, she does start up normally pretty well. That's why I never had any issues in Sweden, because I guess it hadn't been cold enough. So or it's the issues getting worse. Anyway, let's hit the road. Just had 9 dirt bike riders come and all stop right in front of the truck and be like, whoa, with the truck. That was pretty cool. And then they took that gnarly track I mentioned to you guys yesterday afternoon and man, 2 of them just dumped their bikes hard. I'm hoping the guy's okay, because I've still been there for a little while. I think the bike's okay, but he's kind of inspecting it. But yeah, that looks like a really gnarly track. This seems to be quite a popular area for dirt bike riders, because we saw a few going down below through the valley yesterday. After leaving the Abania desert, we then get a bunch of chores done, groceries, water, things like that. And then we hit the road again, heading south. Driving past some really beautiful old villages, of course, each one having a really amazing looking castle on a hilltop overlooking the town. Then we start winding our way through the countryside, gradually sort of heading up in a little bit of elevation, driving past what looks like dirt farms or rock farms. I've got to take my hat off to the Spanish farmers of these regions. The soil is just so brutally dry and arid, and it just looks like a really hard graft. So yeah, hats off to them. We drive mostly past almond tree plantations, olive groves, and orange tree plantations. So now we start heading towards Lake Alfonso XIII. And just before reaching the lake, I spot a really cool ruin. So I park Scotty there for about 5 minutes, run up this path and start checking out this really interesting ruined sort of farmhouse. I'm not too sure what it's made out of. It's like a clay kind of a rock, and it's clearly just doesn't last well in the elements when it's been left to disrepair. And this seems to be what the majority of these ruins are made out of, is this sort of building material. And it looks like the wood sort of just rots, and basically the whole building just implodes on itself. So there's just so many buildings like this throughout the Spanish countryside, but it does make for some interesting sort of exploring. Then we make it to the lake, and we find ourselves a really beautiful spot away from everyone, no civilization, right on the banks of Lake Alfonso XIII.
And stop, and up, yeah. Oh no, you're all too much forward. I can put a rock on the other side.